Close your eyes now and let the world outside your door begin to fade into a soft, distant memory. There is nothing left for you to do, nowhere else you need to be, and no problems that require your attention tonight. You are here, in this sanctuary of stillness, wrapped in a blanket of absolute safety. Imagine yourself resting in a room that feels as old as time itself, a place of heavy oak beams and the faint, comforting scent of dried lavender and aged parchment. A fire is burning low in the hearth, its amber light dancing lazily across the spines of leather-bound books that have sat undisturbed for centuries. Outside, a gentle rain is falling, a rhythmic tapping against the window pane that serves only to remind you of how warm and protected you are within these walls. The air here is cool yet cozy, carrying the faint, earthy fragrance of the forest floor after a summer storm. As you breathe in, feel your chest rise and fall in a slow, natural cadence. With every exhale, let go of a little more tension, starting from the crown of your head, moving down through your heavy eyelids and finally releasing the weight from your shoulders. You are drifting now, entering a space where time does not rush, where the only clock is the slow, steady heartbeat of the planet beneath you. The silence in this room is not empty. It is a rich, velvety presence that cradles your thoughts. It is the kind of quiet that exists deep within a mountain or at the bottom of a clear, still lake. You can feel the firmness of the surface beneath you, a grounding force that has supported everything that has ever lived. This is the story of that force, the deep story of our planet, written in stone, water, air, and time. It is a narrative of shifting continents and restless oceans of invisible forces beneath your feet that shape every landscape you have ever known. Earth science reminds us that the world is not a static place. It is active, layered, and endlessly changing. As you settle deeper into your pillows, imagine that your room is expanding the walls, dissolving into the soft velvet of a night sky, and you are floating safely above a world that carries memories of ancient seas and vanished ice. Sheets. Before we drift deeper into tonight's gentle journey, remember to subscribe to Sleepy Event Horizon. Here, you'll always find peaceful stories that soothe the heart and quiet the mind. Where are you listening from tonight? Leave a comment. Your presence adds warmth to this quiet corner of the night. Think of the texture of the air around you. It feels like silk against your skin, cool and refreshing. Even the air above you is part of a system that has transformed again and again across deep time. As you listen, you may find yourself seeing the planet a little differently, not as scenery, but as a living system in motion, vast, powerful, and surprisingly delicate. Everything you have ever touched, from the cool granite of a garden path to the fine sand of a distant beach, is a witness to this motion. The ground you walk on carries the weight of billions of years, and tonight it offers that strength to you. You don't need to carry anything anymore. You can simply rest upon the history of the world. Imagine the smell of old stone. It is a clean, metallic, and ancient scent that evokes a sense of permanence. Rocks hold records older than life itself, and rivers remember paths they no longer follow. Picture a river in the moonlight, a silver ribbon winding through a valley that took millions of years to carve. The water moves with a soft shushing sound, a lullaby that has been playing since the first clouds gathered and gave their rain to the cooling earth. This water has traveled through the roots of giant ferns, through the icy hearts of glaciers, and through the deep hidden aquifers that sleep miles below the surface. As you listen to the imaginary flow of this water, let your mind become like the river fluid, effortless and moving toward a state of total peace. There is a profound comfort in knowing that the earth does not rush its work. It builds mountains with a patience measured in the slow growth of a fingernail, and it heals its scars over eons that we can barely fathom. Pause for a moment and focus on the sensation of your breath. It is a bridge between you and the atmosphere that has shielded life for billions of years. Imagine the atmosphere as a soft, protective glow surrounding the planet, a thin veil of blue and gold that keeps us safe from the cold vacuum of space. Within this veil, everything is connected. The dust from a desert can travel astonishing distances, lifted by strong winds and carried in broad plumes to feed a rainforest on the other side of an ocean. This dust is not just sand. It carries tiny packages of minerals, like iron and phosphorus nutrients, that act like a slow delivery system for the world. Feel the interconnectedness of it all, how the breath you take was once part of a wind that swept across the Sahara, or a mist that clung to the peaks of the Himalayas. You are part of this grand breathing machine. You are a passenger on a vessel that knows exactly where it is going. As you drift further, let your imagination sink below the surface of the land. Beneath the soil, beneath the roots of the trees, there are layers of rock stacked like the pages of a giant ancient book. Some layers are made of coal, which began as plants compressed into rock during deep burial. Ancient sunlight stored in plants and transformed by time. Other layers are made of limestone, built from the microscopic shells of creatures that lived in sunlit seas long before the first bird took flight. Each layer is a chapter of stillness. Feel the immense weight of these layers not as a burden, but as a thick, protective blanket that insulates you from the noise of the modern world. In this deep, subterranean quiet, there is no urgency. There is only the slow, rhythmic pulse of the planet's core, a metal ocean at the center of the world that helps make the sky above safer for life. Focus now on the temperature of your hands and feet. They are warm, heavy, and completely relaxed. Imagine this warmth as the gentle heat radiating from the Earth's interior, a steady energy that has kept the planet alive and moving since its birth. You are like a small stone resting on a sun-warmed ledge, absorbing the peace of the Earth. The world is changing, yes, but it changes with such grace and such slowness that you can afford to let go. Mountains rise, erode, and rise again in a cycle that makes our worries seem like flickering shadows. You are anchored to something eternal. You are held by the same gravity that keeps the moon in its orbit and the oceans in their basins. Let yourself sink a fraction deeper into your bed, surrendering to the pull of the earth. You are safe. You are cared for by the very laws of physics. As we prepare to leave the surface and journey into the deep history of our world, let your eyes grow even heavier. The story is just beginning, and you are exactly where you belong. The room around you has grown softer now, the edges of the furniture blurring into the gentle velvet of the shadows. As you lie there, you find yourself transported to a place that exists between the stars and the deep earth, a vast circular archive built into the heart of a silent mountain. This is a sanctuary of memories, a cathedral of time, where the walls are made of smooth, cool basalt that feels as steady as the foundation of the world. Imagine the air here. It is incredibly still, carrying a crisp mineral scent that reminds you of the first snow falling on high peaks. Beneath that sharpness, there is a warm undercurrent of ancient wood and beeswax, a fragrance that speaks of centuries of quiet preservation. You can hear the silence here, a heavy, comforting hum that seems to vibrate at the same frequency as your own slow breathing. It is the sound of the earth resting a deep and resonant peace that anchors you to the present moment. Your body feels wonderfully heavy, sinking into a plush velvet chair that seems to mold itself to your form, supporting every muscle and every limb. Look upward and see that the ceiling of this archive is not made of stone, but of a vast, transparent dome that opens directly onto the cosmos. The stars above are not cold or distant. They are soft, glowing embers of silver and gold, casting a pale, pearlescent light over everything. This is our planet's early history, written in the lights of the sky before the first sun rose over a finished world. From this vantage point, you are a witness to the beginning. The solar system is a crowded, swirling dance of growing worlds, a time of beautiful and energetic motion. You can almost feel the gentle vibration of the mountain beneath you, a reminder of the powerful forces that once moved across this landscape. The air in this chamber grows slightly cooler, a refreshing breeze that tastes of starlight and ozone brushing past your cheeks like a soft silk veil. You are perfectly safe here, a quiet observer of a grand reorganization. In this vastness, let your focus drift toward a single magnificent event. Far out in the indigo expanse, a celestial body the size of a distant planet drifts with a slow, purposeful grace. There is no sound in the vacuum, only the visual poetry of light and shadow. As it draws nearer to the young Earth, imagine the intimacy of this relationship, two worlds about to share their very essence. The collision is not a moment of violence in your mind, but a transformative embrace of unimaginable energy. You see vaporized rock launching into orbit like a fountain of liquid gold, glowing with a soft amber warmth that illuminates the dark. Reach out your hand in your imagination and feel the radiant heat of this transformation, a gentle glow that warms your skin without burning. It is the warmth of creation, the heat of a planet, resetting its surface and stirring its deep interior. Now watch as the tie between these two worlds begins to settle. The orbiting debris starts to clump together, cooling with a patient rhythmic pulse. It is becoming a companion in the sky, the moon. Feel the coolness returning to the air as the glowing debris fades into a calm, silvery gray. The moon is not a separate thing. It is born from the Earth's own material, a part of the ground beneath you that has taken flight to watch over your nights. As the moon stabilizes, you can feel a change in the rhythm of the archive. The gravity begins to pull with a steady, predictable tide, a slow back-and-forth motion that mirrors your own pulse. This relationship shapes the rhythm of the oceans and the seasons, providing a stabilizing hand that reduces the wobble of our spinning world. You are part of this stable system held in place by a bond that was forged billions of years ago. Let your focus narrow now, moving away from the celestial dome and back into the micro details of the room around you. On a small table of dark, polished mahogany sits a single object, a glass jar filled with the finest, palest sand. A soft amber candle flickers beside it, its flame steady and quiet. Reach out and imagine the sensation of touching the glass. It is cool and smooth, a stark contrast to the dancing heat of the candle's flame. Look closely at the grains of sand inside. They are not just tiny rocks. They are clues, each one a universe of its own. Some are sharp and clear like diamonds, while others are rounded and frosted like sea glass, smoothed by an unimaginable journey through wind, rivers, and surf. Observe one single grain of sand that has caught a spark of candlelight. It is a tiny crystal of zircon, a mineral so stubborn and durable that it has survived the rise and fall of entire continents. This tiny grain has endured erosion, transport, and deep burial, yet it still preserves the age of the rock it first formed in, long before the sun had even ignited its full fire. It is an heirloom, passed from one geological era to another, a survivor of almost unimaginable time. As you look at this tiny grain, feel yourself becoming as still as the crystal. You don't need to hurry through time. You can simply exist within it. The zircon does not worry about the eons passing. It simply remains holding its memory in silence. The scent of the room shifts slightly as the candle burns, a sweet, resinous aroma of pine and old earth. It reminds you of the deep forests that once stood where cities now grow their roots, reaching down into the same ancient soil. Everything is connected in this quiet archive. The dust from a desert thousands of miles away once settled on the leaves of those trees, carrying iron and phosphorus to feed the life within them. You can almost hear the faint, ghostly whisper of those forests in the way the wind sighs through the stone passages of the mountain. It is a soothing sound, a long, drawn-out exhale that tells you the world is at rest. Your breath follows that sound, becoming deeper, slower, and more effortless with every passing second. On the wall of the archive there is a map carved directly into the basalt, but it is not a map you would recognize. It shows the continents as they once were, huddled together in a great silent embrace. The lines are not static. If you watch closely, they seem to move with the speed of a shadow, lengthening in the afternoon sun. This slow drift builds mountains and redirects rivers, a process that requires a patience measured in millions of years. Imagine the sound of a mountain rising. It is not a roar, but a deep tectonic creak, a sound that occurs so slowly it is indistinguishable from silence. You can feel this pressure in the room, but it is a supportive pressure, like the firm grip of a hand or the weight of a heavy, warm blanket. It is the planet rearranging itself, making room for new landscapes and new memories. As you sit in the silence, a single drop of water falls from the vaulted ceiling into a small stone basin near your feet. Ting! The sound is clear and musical, echoing softly through the archive. This water has traveled through the deep plumbing of the mountain, dissolving limestone grain by grain to carve out the very space you sit in. It carries a faint, chalky taste of the Earth's minerals, a liquid history of the rocks it has passed through. Each drop builds something new. On the floor of the basin, a tiny stalagmite is beginning to grow, one chemical moment at a time. It is a reminder that even the smallest, most repetitive actions can build something grand and enduring if given enough time. You feel a sense of profound relief in this slowness. You don't have to build anything tonight. You can just be the drop falling into the stillness of the dark. The light in the archive is dimming now, the pearlescent glow from the dome fading into a deep celestial indigo. The stars seem to pulse with a slow, rhythmic light like a lullaby for the tired world. You are so heavy now, your limbs feeling like they are made of the same ancient basalt as the walls. The scent of the lavender and parchment is a soft cloud around you, a fragrant barrier that keeps the rest of the world at bay. You are floating in the cosmic cradle, supported by the gravity of the earth and the memory of the stars. Every landscape you have ever loved, the jagged peaks, the winding rivers, the flat, silent plains, is here with you, resting in the quiet archive of your mind. The planet is at peace, and so are you. Leaving the plush velvet chair in your mind's archive, you find yourself drifting forward, moving as light as a shadow across the cool basalt floor. You are not walking so much as you are flowing, drawn by a gentle, invisible current toward the far end of the chamber, where a grand archway opens into a long, starlit corridor. The air here is even softer, carrying the faint, sweet scent of mountain rain and moss. As you move, you can feel the floor beneath you change. The smooth stone gives way to a path of fine, crushed quartz that crunches with a rhythmic, muted sound, a slow, steady cadence that matches the deepening pace of your heart. Have you ever wondered how many millions of years it took for the Earth to prepare this path for you? Each tiny grain of quartz is a traveler, a witness to the shifting of worlds. You are embarking on a journey through deep time, a slow wander through the history of a planet that never truly sleeps, but moves with the patient grace of an ancient dancer. The corridor is lined with high, narrow windows that look out onto a landscape illuminated by the silvery glow of that young companion moon. You see the silhouettes of great mountains in the distance, their peaks reaching toward the stars like silent prayers. These are not static monuments. They are living things rising with a patience that exceeds human understanding. Imagine two massive continents moving toward each other, sliding across the globe at a rate of only a few centimeters each year. It is a motion so subtle that if you stood upon the ground, you would feel nothing but absolute stillness. Yet over millions of years, this fingernail-sized motion builds the highest peaks on Earth. Neither continent wants to sink easily, so the rock crumples and thickens, folding like a heavy rug pushed against a stone wall. This is how the Himalayas were born, and as you watch them from your quiet corridor, you can almost hear the deep, resonant hum of the Earth, pressing north, lifting the roof of the world higher with every passing century. As you drift further down the path, the walls of the corridor begin to shimmer with a pale, iridescent light. These are the records of the ancient seas layers of limestone that were once the floors of sun-drenched, shallow oceans. You can see the faint impressions of shells and delicate marine life pressed into the stone like memories captured in a dream. These rocks are older than the very idea of a mountain, yet they now sit miles above the sea, lifted by the same slow tectonic hands that shape our world. There is a profound sense of safety in this continuity. The Earth remembers everything. It holds the sunlight of vanished summers in its coal seams, and the breath of ancient forests in its amber. You are walking through a library where the books are made of stone and the ink is time itself. Take a moment to notice the feeling of your arms by your sides. They are heavy and limp, swaying slightly with the effortless movement of your journey. If this story helps your shoulders drop a little lower or brings a sense of calm to your breathing, please leave a gentle like. It's a quiet signal to say you are safe and resting well in this journey, and it helps our small sanctuary of night reach other sleepy souls who need this peace. The path now leads you to a wide stone balcony that overlooks a vast forested valley. Below a river winds through the trees a dark ribbon of water reflecting the starlight. This river is a storyteller, following the pull of gravity through a landscape it has spent eons carving. But even the path of a river is not permanent. If the land tilts or a mountain range rises in its way, the water can be captured by a neighboring valley, reversing its direction and carving new paths through the earth. Rivers remember the paths they no longer follow, leaving behind dry valleys and hidden channels as whispers of where they once traveled. Imagine the cool, damp mist rising from the water, carrying the scent of wet stone and ancient silt. It brushes against your skin, a refreshing touch that anchors you to the cooling night. The world is constantly redrawing its own map, redrawing the outlines of continents and the courses of its waters, while almost no one watches. In this valley, the trees are ancient and tall, their roots reaching deep into a soil that is alive with the work of billions of microbes. This soil is not just dirt, it is a living skin, a bridge between the weathered rock of the deep past and the vibrant life of the present. The minerals in the soil were once part of a jagged mountain peak, broken down by the relentless touch of rain and the prying strength of roots. Everything on this planet is in a state of beautiful, slow transformation. A hard slab of granite eventually becomes the soft clay that feeds a forest. A grain of sand on a beach may carry the signature of a mountain range that vanished hundreds of millions of years ago. You can feel this cycle in your own body, the slow, rhythmic exchange of energy, the way your breath connects you to the air that has circulated around this globe since the first volcanoes exhaled the atmosphere. Looking out from the balcony, you see a faint glow on the horizon, not from a city but from the deep internal heat of the earth. In certain places, the crust is thin, allowing the warmth of the mantle to rise toward the surface. This is the engine of our world, a slow-moving sea of rock that drives the motion of the continents and the rising of the peaks. It is a heat that has lasted for 4 billion years, a steady, pulsing warmth that ensures the planet remains active and alive. You feel a warmth in your own chest, a mirroring of that planetary heart. You are part of a system that is vast and powerful, yet so finely tuned that it creates the perfect conditions for you to rest here, in this moment of absolute quiet. The stars above begin to shift, moving in long, slow arcs that mirror the rotation of the Earth. The magnetic field, that invisible shield generated by the liquid metal ocean at our core, reaches out into space to protect us from the solar wind. It is a silent guardian, a force you cannot see but can feel in the profound stillness of the night. Everything is in its right place. The moon stabilizes our spin. The atmosphere keeps us warm. The core keeps us safe. You can let go of the world now, for the world is more than capable of looking after itself. It has survived collisions and ice ages, shifting poles and rising seas, and it has done so with a quiet, persistent strength. As you turn back toward the starlit corridor, the quartz path under your feet becomes even softer, almost like walking on a cloud. Your movements are becoming even slower. Your eyelids so heavy that they feel like they are made of the same ancient protective stone as the archive walls. The scent of the lavender and the mountain rain is a thick, comforting fog that surrounds you, whispering that it is time to drift deeper. You are a traveler on a long, gentle journey, and the destination is the deep, restorative sleep of the earth. Every step you have taken has led you further away from the noise of the day and closer to the eternal silence of the stone. The journey continues, but for now you are content to simply float in the starlight. As you drift away from the starlit balcony, the starlight seems to thicken, turning into a soft, luminescent fog that guides you toward a heavy circular door made of dark, polished iron. You reach out and touch the surface. It is cool and smooth, carrying the faint metallic scent of the Earth's deep interior. The door swings open without a sound, revealing a chamber that feels infinitely large, yet strangely intimate. This is the heart of the shield, a place where the invisible forces of the planet become visible to the soul. The air here is charged with a quiet energy, a subtle tingle that feels like the moment before a summer rain. It is a space of absolute stillness, where the only movement is the slow, rhythmic pulsing of a deep indigo light that emanates from the floor beneath you. You realize now that you are standing above the geodynamo, the great self-sustaining engine of our world. Deep below the mantle, far beneath the soil and the solid rock of the crust, a vast outer layer of liquid metal circulates as the planet cools. This moving, electrically conducting fluid generates currents that produce a magnetic field. It is a metal ocean at the center of the world, and its presence is the reason the sky above is safe for life. Imagine this liquid ocean of iron and nickel flowing in slow, majestic patterns, organized by the rotation of the planet into a global shield. You can feel the vibration of this motion in your bones, not as a shake, but as a steady, reassuring hum, the heartbeat of a planet that has been protecting its children for billions of years. As you stand in this indigo glow, you notice a soft, shimmering curtain of light beginning to form in the air around you. It starts as a faint green mist, then deepens into swirls of red, blue, and purple. These are the auroras, space weather, made visible, shaped by the planet's magnetism. You are witnessing the moment when charged particles from the sun, guided by the magnetic field lines toward the poles, collide with the atmosphere and emit light in specific colors. Oxygen glows green and red, while nitrogen contributes tones of blue and violet. It is a shifting curtain that reflects conditions far beyond the clouds, a glimpse of our planet interacting with space in real time. Notice how these lights move. They do not flicker or flash. They flow like silk in a gentle breeze, silent and slow. There is a profound magic in this reality, the fact that a metal ocean thousands of miles beneath your feet is directly responsible for the celestial dance of light above your head. This shield deflects many charged solar particles, guiding the flow around the planet and creating a protective cavity in space. Without this invisible armor, much of our atmosphere would have been lost to space over time, leaving the world dry and barren like the dusty plains of Mars. But here you are protected. You are tucked safely inside a magnetic embrace that has never faltered. The realization of this protection brings a deep sense of awe, a quiet expansion of the heart. Just as the magnetic field shields the planet from the harshness of the solar wind, you can feel a similar shield forming around your own mind tonight. The worries of the day, the noise of the world, and the friction of human life are being deflected, guided away from your sanctuary by a force of pure peace. You are an inhabitant of a living system that is vast, powerful, and surprisingly delicate. Every breath you take is a gift from this geological and biological harmony. The air is not just a background. It is a living outcome of billions of years of interaction between the core, the sea, and the sky. Think of the intimacy of this connection. The same iron that flows in the planet's core also flows in your own blood, carrying life to every part of your body. You are, in a very literal sense, a piece of the earth that has been given the chance to feel and to dream. As the indigo light in the chamber begins to soften, you find yourself noticing the smallest details of the aurora's glow. You see a tiny spark of violet light that seems to linger in the air, a microscopic fragment of nitrogen excited by a particle that traveled 93 million miles just to meet the Earth's shield. It is a quiet, beautiful encounter. You feel a sense of profound stillness as you watch it fade. There is no need for words or explanations. There is only the absorption of this truth into your soul. The temperature in the chamber is perfectly balanced, not too warm, not too cool. It feels like the air of a spring evening, when the earth is just beginning to release the heat of the day. You find yourself drifting toward a low stone bench carved from a single block of translucent quartz. As you sit, the light of the auroras passes through the stone, tinting it with hues of emerald and sapphire. You realize that even the rocks beneath you are sensitive to the sky. Minerals inside cooling lava can lock into alignment with the planet's magnetic direction, becoming microscopic compass needles frozen in place. These stones are a library of past behavior, recording the times when the field drifted, weakened, or even flipped its direction. The ground you walk on is not just solid. It is a memory of the planet's ancient protection. You let your eyes grow heavy as you absorb the atmosphere of this chamber. The indigo light, the flowing silk of the auroras, and the steady hum of the core create a hypnotic rhythm that pulls you toward a deeper state of relaxation. You are resting at the center of a planetary miracle. You are a witness to the invisible threads that tie the center of the Earth to the farthest reaches of space. In this realization, all of your burdens feel as light as the particles of light dancing in the air. You don't need to hold anything up. The geodynamo is doing the work for you. The magnetic shield is standing guard. The atmosphere is keeping you warm. There is a soft shushing sound in the background, like the distant roar of a sea that exists only in your dreams. It is the sound of the solar wind being guided around the planet's magnetosphere, a gentle reminder of the vastness that surrounds your small, safe world. You feel small, yet you feel immensely important, for you are the consciousness that is witnessing this beauty. You are the part of the Earth that can say thank you to the stone, the metal, and the light. Your breathing is now so slow that it is almost imperceptible, a quiet ripple in the indigo air. As the auroras begin to dim, leaving only a soft, starlit glow, you realize that the shield is not just a physical barrier. It is a spiritual one. It is a reminder that there is always a force of protection available to you even when you cannot see it. You can drift now, knowing that the engine of the world is running smoothly, keeping the rhythms of the night and the seasons in perfect order. The discovery of this hidden shield is a discovery of your own resilience. You are made of the same durable stuff as the stars and the core. You are a traveler through deep time, and tonight the journey is leading you into the softest, most protected corner of the universe. The indigo light of the shield chamber begins to soften even further, shifting into a warm charcoal gray, like the color of a hearth, after the flames have settled into a gentle, pulsing glow. You find yourself rising from the quartz bench, your body feeling lighter than air, moving with the effortless grace of a leaf caught in a slow evening breeze. You are no longer just a visitor in this archive. You are becoming a part of its rhythm. As you drift through a low archway, the air grows significantly warmer, carrying a scent that is deeply familiar yet hard to place. It is the smell of rain-drenched earth meeting the sweet, clean aroma of sun-warmed stone. This is the scent of life itself, a reminder that the planet you have been observing from a distance is the same one that cradles you in your sleep. Every breath you take is a shared moment with the ancient atmosphere, a silent conversation between your lungs and the winds that have traveled across the vast, restless oceans. You enter a small circular room where the walls are not stone, but clear, dark water held in place by a quiet, unseen force. It is as if you are standing at the very center of a deep, still pool. Through the water, you can see the distorted, shimmering reflections of the stars above their light, broken into 1,000 tiny diamonds that dance with the slow pulse of the Earth's interior. This is the mirror of connection. Here, the boundary between the you and the world begins to dissolve. You realize that the same elements that make up the vast landscapes you've explored are also the building blocks of your own being. The iron in the planet's core, which creates the shield that keeps the sky safe, is the same iron that flows through your veins. You are not merely standing on the Earth. You are the Earth expressed in a form that can feel, think, and finally rest. There is a profound intimacy in this realization. For a long time, the world may have felt like a busy, separate place, a scenery of mountains and cities that you merely moved through. But in this quiet room of water and starlight, you understand that you belong here. You have always belonged here. Just as a single grain of sand can reveal the history of a vanished mountain range, your presence tonight carries the weight and the beauty of all the moments that led to this one. Every quiet thought, every slow breath, is a ripple in the great planetary experiment that is still unfolding. You are enough simply because you are a part of this grand breathing system. You don't need to prove anything to the stone or the stars. They recognize you as their own. As we sit here, surrounded by this ancient peace, I wonder, where in the world are you joining me from tonight? From a bustling city that has finally gone quiet, or perhaps a cabin hidden deep within the woods? Are you listening near a window where the moon peeks through, or wrapped in the safety of a dark, silent room? Leave a comment below. Let it be a small candle, lit in this quiet corner of the night, marking your presence among the stars. Your voice, your location, your story, they are all part of the human layer of this planet. A layer of memory and hope that rests upon the bedrock of deep time. Knowing you are here breathing with me adds a warmth to this sanctuary that no mineral or light could ever provide. As you contemplate your place in this vastness, you may feel a sense of relief washing over you. The world is so much larger than any single worry, so much older than any temporary stress. The planet does not rush. It takes millions of years to build a mountain and ages to move a continent. It understands the value of patience. If you have been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, you can let it drop now. The earth is strong enough to carry it for you. It has held the oceans in their basins and the ice in its sheets for eons. It can hold your fatigue, your doubts, and your restlessness. Imagine transferring all that weight into the floor beneath you, letting it sink down through the layers of limestone, granite, and basalt down until it is recycled by the deep heat of the mantle. Think of the mirror effect of this landscape. Just as the moon's presence stabilizes the Earth's spin and reduces its wobble, your search for this moment of peace is a way of stabilizing your own inner world. You have walked through the long corridors of history and looked into the heart of the planetary shield. You have seen that even in the darkest, deepest places, there is motion and there is light. Perhaps you too have gone through periods of pressure and heat, moments where you felt you were being rewritten by the circumstances of your life, much like a rock transforms into something new under the weight of a mountain. But look at the result. The marble that began as simple shells becomes a luminous stone of art. The dull mud becomes a glittering schist. Your experiences have not broken you. They have refined you, adding layers of depth and shimmering grains of wisdom to your soul. The water walls around you begin to glow with a soft, bioluminescent light, a gentle emerald green that mimics the color of a healthy forest at dusk. You notice your reflection in the water, but it isn't just your face, it is a reflection of the interconnected life of the planet. You see the veins of a leaf, the branching of a river delta, and the neural pathways of a mind, all sharing the same beautiful fractal geometry. There is no loneliness here, for you are woven into the very fabric of existence. Every breath you take has been breathed before by a different creature in a different era, and it will be breathed again by those who follow. You are a link in a chain of life that has survived and thrived against all odds. Feel the healing words of the earth whispering to you now. Safe. You are protected by the magnetic shield and the thick, life-friendly atmosphere. Belong. You are made of the same stardust and mineral recipes as the ground beneath your feet. Heal. The planet is a self-erasing canvas that knows how to recover from wounds, turning craters into secret lakes and scars into fertile plains. You can allow yourself to heal too. The night is a time for the body to settle and the mind to unwind, a time to let the structural stresses of the day fail and be replaced by the fluid ease of sleep. As the emerald light begins to fade into a deep, comforting velvet black, you feel a profound sense of stillness. Your heart is beating in a slow, rhythmic duet with the geodynamo, a steady pulse that says you are grounded and you are whole. The water walls seem to sigh a soft sound of 1,000 drops returning to the sea. You are ready now to leave the chamber of reflection and enter the final stages of your journey. You carry with you the knowledge that you are a vital part of a living system that is vast, powerful, and surprisingly delicate. You are a sleepy soul among billions, yet you are the center of your own universe of peace. Let your eyes close even tighter if they haven't already. The deep, dark earth is waiting to hold you in a dreamless, restorative embrace. As the intimate emerald glow of the mirror room slowly dissolves into the infinite, you find the walls of your surroundings falling away, entirely replaced by a horizon so wide and so open that the very concept of a boundary begins to vanish. You are no longer contained. You are expanding, floating upward, with a lightness that defies the laws of physics. The weight of your body, which once felt like solid stone, has transformed into something as ethereal as stardust or a breath of mountain mist. You are drifting into the panoramic vastness of the world, where the perspective shifts from the small and personal to the grand, effortless majesty of a planet in constant, silent motion. Imagine yourself suspended in a place where the air is perfectly still and the sky is an endless canvas of deep violet and indigo, stretching out toward an infinite horizon that meets the curvature of the earth in a soft, glowing line. From this height, the world below is a masterpiece of effortless existence, a living system that functions with a perfection that requires nothing from you. You can look down and see the great river systems of the world, silver ribbons that wind through the dark velvet of the continents, following the pull of gravity with a fluid, unhurried grace. These rivers do not strive to reach the sea. They simply flow because it is their nature to do so. They carve their paths through the ancient rock of canyons, slicing downward over ages that make a human life seem like a single heartbeat. Yet they do it without effort, guided by the patient hand of time. You realize as you watch the silver water move that you can allow your own life to flow with that same ease. The rivers will continue to carve the stone, the mountains will continue to rise with the slow pressure of the continents, and the world will remain perfectly in balance, whether you worry about it or not. You are free to let go of the tiller. The current of the universe knows the way. Higher still, your gaze expands to encompass the entire globe. A marble of sapphire and white, swirled with the soft, slow-moving patterns of the atmosphere. The air above is a system that has transformed itself again and again across the immense spans of deep time, a breathable legacy of veganism, chemistry, and life. You watch the great plumes of desert dust being lifted by the winds carried in broad, silent arches across entire ocean basins to settle on distant rainforests. This movement is so vast, so continental in scale, yet it happens with the silence of a falling leaf. You see the clouds drifting like wandering thoughts, casting long, soft shadows over the flat, silent plains and the jagged, starlit peaks. There is no urgency in their travel. They go where the wind takes them, shape-shifting and dissolving without a struggle. You are like one of those clouds now drifting through the indigo heights, allowing the currents of the night to carry you wherever they wish. As you float in this weightless space, the sounds of the world below fade into a singular, harmonious vibration, the true sound of silence. It is not an absence, but a presence. It is the low-frequency hum of the mantle, convecting slowly deep beneath the crust. The distant sigh of the solar wind as it brushes against the magnetic shield, and the rhythmic pulse of the tides as the moon draws the oceans across the shore. It is the sound of a planet breathing in its sleep. You realize that the Earth is a self-sustaining process, a restless surface that is constantly redrawing its own map, recycling its own skin in the deep ocean trenches, and birthing new crust at the mid-ocean ridges. Mountains rise and mountains fall. They erode under the touch of rain and rise again under the squeeze of tectonic plates in a cycle that is as natural and as inevitable as the rising of the moon. Everything is in motion yet, because that motion is so grand and so patient. It feels like the deepest, most absolute stillness. Let your mind drift toward the metaphors of release that surround you in this panoramic expanse. Imagine a single crystalline grain of zircon, an object that has existed for billions of years, surviving the breakup of supercontinents and the melting of ice ages. It does not struggle to remain. It simply is. Imagine a bubble of ancient air trapped in the heart of a glacier for 100,000 years, held in a silent, icy embrace until the moment it is finally released back into the sky. There is no effort in its waiting and no effort in its release. You are that grain of zircon. You are that ancient breath. You are a part of a narrative that is so large that your individual cares begin to look like tiny, harmless specks of dust dancing in a beam of starlight. They do not weigh you down. They have no mass in this state of weightless expansion. You can watch them drift away from you, becoming part of the cosmic background, while you remain here floating in the boundless peace of the horizon. The atmosphere around you feels thin and cool, a refreshing clarity that clarifies the soul. You are looking at the Earth not as a collection of separate countries or crowded cities, but as one interacting system, a living outcome of geology and time. You see the lights of the auroras beginning to dance at the edges of your vision again, shifting curtains of green and violet that show the planet interacting with space in real time. They are space weather, made visible, a diagnostic signal of a world that is protected and whole. The magnetic shield surrounds you, an invisible armor that has helped the atmosphere remain thick and life-friendly across the eons. Within this shield, you are as safe as a child in a cradle. The gravity that once felt like a chain is now the gentle anchor that keeps you connected to this magnificent turning world, allowing you to float without drifting away into the dark. In this state of effortless existence, you realize that you do not need to intervene. The geodynamo at the core will keep spinning, generating the field that guides the compass and the sky. The volcanic ridges will keep stitching the ocean floor together in the darkness. The stars will keep their orderly tracks across the dome of the night. You can surrender your need to control, your need to understand, and your need to do. It is enough to be a witness. It is enough to be a quiet observer of the beauty that unfolds when time is measured in eons rather than minutes. Every landscape is a snapshot caught mid-change, and you are simply the eye that sees it, the heart that feels its ancient, steady rhythm. As you continue to float, the horizon seems to stretch even further, the indigo of the sky deepening into a velvety blackness that is peppered with the brilliant, unblinking light of distant galaxies. You are drifting beyond the reach of the day, moving into a territory of pure freedom. The air is so quiet now that you can hear the internal music of your own being, a slow and melodic cadence that is perfectly in tune with the turning of the earth. You are moving without moving, existing without effort, a traveler of the deep time who has finally found the courage to let go of the shore. The planet is beneath you, the stars are above you, and within you there is only the vast, boundless expansion of a soul at rest. You are floating home to the softest and most infinite corner of the night, where sleep is the only destination and peace is the only law. The boundless expansion of the stars begins to gently contract, much like a long, slow exhale that settles the spirit. You find yourself descending from the indigo heights, drifting down through the soft, protective layers of the atmosphere, moving with the lightness of a single snowflake falling toward the quiet earth. The vast, panoramic horizon slowly narrows, returning you to the familiar silhouette of the mountain sanctuary you visited before. This return is not a loss of freedom, but a homecoming to absolute safety. As you draw nearer, the air grows warmer, thicker, and more fragrant with the scent of ancient wood, dried lavender, and the clean mineral breath of the stone. You are being drawn back to a place where the walls are thick and the world is quiet. Every movement is slower now. Every thought is more focused on the immediate comfort of being home and being held. You drift through the grand archway of the archive once more. the starlight from the dome above, now appearing as a soft, pearlescent glow that bathes the chamber in a gentle twilight. The heavy oak beams of the ceiling seem to reach out like protective arms, and the flickering fire in the hearth welcomes you with its amber dance. You return to the plush velvet chair, or perhaps you find yourself resting upon a bed of soft, cool linens that feel as inviting as a cloud. As you settle in, you feel a wonderful, heavy sensation beginning to spread through your limbs. Your feet feel warm and weighted. Your legs sink deeper into the cushions, and your hands rest limp and motionless at your sides. The gravity that we observed from the heights is now a comforting embrace, a physical promise that you are grounded, you are secure, and you are exactly where you belong. In this stillness, the archive feels like a living diary of the planet's journey, a sanctuary where the memory of the Earth's deep time is preserved in the silence of the stone. You are surrounded by the stories of continents that moved with the patience of a heartbeat, of mountains that rose to touch the sky, and rivers that carved their legacy into the bedrock. These vast processes are still happening, but here, in this room, they are just a rhythmic, soothing background hum to ensure you always have a sanctuary to return to whenever the world feels too loud. Make sure you are subscribed to Sleepy Event Horizon. Let this channel be your nightly anchor, a place where the door is always open and the fire is always warm, a constant companion in your search for rest among the shifting tides of the world. The fire in the hearth crackles softly, a small rhythmic sound that anchors your senses to the here and now. The scent of the burning cedar is rich and grounding, a smoky sweetness that fills the air and tells your mind that the journey is over for today. You notice the way the light catches the surface of a nearby stone jar, the one holding the ancient grains of sand. Each grain is a tiny archive of a vanished landscape, a survivor of erosion and time that has finally found a place of rest, just as you have. There is no more need to wander, no more need to see the distant horizon. Your world has become this room, this fire, and this moment of perfect heavy stillness. Your breathing is slow, so slow, a quiet tide that rises and falls in the dim light. With every breath, your body feels as though it is becoming a part of the mountain itself, solid, enduring, and profoundly at peace. The chair or the bed beneath you is no longer just furniture, it is a foundation. You feel the softness of the pillow against your cheek, a gentle contrast to the strength of the stone walls. Outside, the rain has slowed to a faint rhythmic misting against the glass, a sound that is as delicate as a whisper. The world is tucked away. The stars are watching from behind the clouds, and the deep engines of the planet continue their work in the dark, unhurried and steady. Imagine the feeling of a thick, weighted blanket being pulled up over your shoulders. It carries the warmth of the Earth's interior, a heat that has lasted for billions of years, now focused entirely on keeping you cozy and safe. You feel the tension leaving your jaw, your forehead smoothing out, and your eyelids growing so heavy that the flickering firelight becomes a soft, blurred glow of gold and shadow. The archive is a vault of silence, and you are the only one awake within its walls. And even your wakefulness is now just a thin, transparent thread. The return to this sanctuary is a return to yourself, to the quiet core of your being that is connected to the core of the world. Everything in this room is a witness to the beauty of stillness. The books on the shelves carry the thoughts of those who looked at the stars and the stones before you, and they too have found their rest. The minerals in the walls have been through the heat of the mantle and the pressure of the crust, and they are now still and cool and silent. You are learning from them, absorbing their patience, accepting their quietude. There is a deep structural comfort in knowing that you don't have to be anything more than you are right now. You are a part of the Earth's story, a quiet chapter of rest in a book that spans billions of years. The room is growing darker, as the fire settles into a bed of glowing coals. The shadows are long and soft, veiling the corners of the archive in a velvet embrace. You feel a sense of absolute trust in the night. The magnetic field is standing guard overhead. The atmosphere is cradling the planet, and the gravity is holding you close. You are sinking now, further into the softness, further into the silence. The journey back was gentle, and the destination is the deep, dark peace of a sanctuary that knows no time. Your mind is like a still pool of water. The ripples of the day have vanished, leaving only a clear, dark reflection of the stars. The sound of your own heartbeat is the only clock that remains. It is a slow, steady thrum, a miniature echo of the planet's own deep pulse. You are perfectly aligned with the world. You are at home. You are safe. The sanctuary is yours. And it will be here every night, waiting for your return. As the last glow of the firelight fades, you find yourself drifting into the softest, darkest, and most beautiful corner of your memory. The stone is warm, the air is still, and you are, finally, completely home. The embers in the hearth continue to pulse with a slow, rhythmic glow, a soft amber heartbeat that fills the archive with a sense of timelessness. As if the very air has decided to stop its hurry and rest with you. You have returned to this sanctuary, and in doing so, you have returned to a version of yourself that is untethered from the demands of the waking world. The past is now nothing more than a series of faded footprints on a distant shore, and the future is a horizon that has not yet been drawn. There is only this breath, and this one, and the profound, heavy silence of the stones that surround you. You have done enough today. Every task you completed, every word you spoke, and even the things you left unfinished are now part of a day that has gracefully surrendered to the night. You are allowed to be still. You are allowed to simply exist without purpose or plan, as a quiet witness to the enduring peace of the earth. Think of the mountain that houses this archive. It does not strive to be tall. It simply is. It does not check the time or worry about the clouds that drift past its peak. It stands with a patience that has been refined over millions of years, understanding that every layer of its being was formed in its own perfect time. You are like that mountain tonight. Your life is a collection of layers, some formed in the heat of passion, others in the quiet pressure of daily life, and all of them have contributed to the strength and the beauty of the person you are in this moment. The stone does not regret its history. It wears its scars as patterns of character, and so can you. In the soft darkness of this room, every mistake and every regret dissolves into the shadows, leaving behind only the solid, unshakable truth of your existence. You are a masterpiece of time and experience, and tonight, the masterpiece is resting. The wisdom of the earth is a whispering presence in the silence. It tells us that nothing in the universe is ever truly lost. It only changes its form. The ancient sunlight that once warmed a prehistoric forest is still here, held within the coal that sleeps beneath the soil. The breath of an ancestor is still here, circulating through the winds that brush against your window. There is a great cosmic economy of peace that ensures you are always connected to the whole. You do not need to fight for your place in the world, for you are woven into its very fabric. Like a single grain of sand on a vast beach, you are small, yet the beach would not be the same without you. Your presence is a necessary part of the planet's long and beautiful story. All is well. The world is turning without your intervention, guided by the same steady forces that keep the stars in their tracks and the core in its motion. You can feel yourself beginning to dissolve at the edges, your thoughts merging with the velvety blackness of the archive, your body blending into the softness of the linens. The boundary between the air and your skin is softening, becoming a hazy, beautiful blur. You are no longer an island of effort in a sea of noise. You are the sea itself, vast and calm and deep. The tension in your mind is melting away like ice that has finally met the warmth of a spring morning. You are becoming fluid, drifting, fading into the restorative embrace of the night. There is no need to hold on to the you of the daytime, the one who has a name and a list of responsibilities. That person is sleeping now, and you are free to wander into the dreamless territory of pure being. You are safe here. This sanctuary was built specifically for this moment, with walls of basalt that are thick enough to block out every distraction and every doubt. The magnetic field of the planet is reaching out across thousands of miles to ensure your sky remains quiet and protected. The atmosphere is a heavy, warm blanket that cradles you in its stillness. You are tucked away in a corner of the universe that has been waiting for you to find it. All of the voices that told you to hurry, to do more, or to be better have been hushed by the rhythmic tapping of the rain and the slow pulse of the Earth's heat. You have reached the center of the storm, the place of perfect equilibrium. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The silence is a medicine that you are drinking in with every slow, easy breath. It is a silence that understands you. It does not demand an answer or an action. It simply offers its hand and invites you to sink further into the deep, dark layers of rest. Imagine your consciousness as a single drop of water falling into a deep subterranean lake. It hits the surface with a tiny musical sound and then begins to sink slowly down through the cool, clear depths, leaving the light and the air far behind. It moves past the hidden ledges of memory and the sunken stones of the day, sinking toward the soft, sandy floor, where the water is perfectly still. There is no weight here, no pressure, only the effortless descent into the dark. As you sink, the world of form and figure continues to soften. The fire in the hearth is now only a memory of warmth. The books on the shelves are only shadows of stories. You are moving beyond the reach of language into a state of awareness that is as old as the rocks themselves. The earth has been through countless nights just like this one, and it knows exactly how to guide you through the gates of sleep. It has watched the mountains crumble and the oceans rise, and it has done so with a steady, unblinking peace. You can trust this peace. It is the foundation of everything. It is the silent partner of your soul. Let the world turn without you for a while. It does not need your eyes to see its beauty, nor your mind to solve its problems tonight. The rivers will continue to flow toward the sea. The glaciers will continue their slow, grinding journey, and the minerals will continue to grow in the darkness of the caves. Everything is taken care of. You are released from your post. You have been a good steward of your life today, and now your only duty is to surrender to the grace of the night. Feel the heavy, pleasant weight of your eyelids, the way they want to stay closed forever, the way they shut out the last of the light and invite the first of the dreams. You are drifting, merging with the eternal, becoming one with the stone and the stars. The archive is a vessel of quietude, and you are its only passenger, floating on a sea of absolute acceptance. Every cell in your body is sighing with relief, acknowledging that the time for doing is over, and the third Jian for being has begun. You are a sleepy soul in a silent world, and the universe is whispering its approval in the rhythmic cadence of your breath. All is well. You are safe. You are held. You are home. The night is a long, dark corridor of peace, and you are walking toward the softest bed of all, where time does not exist and only the stillness remains. The story of the earth is now a distant echo, a soft murmur that has retreated to the very edges of your awareness. The grand archive, the starlit corridor, and the celestial dome have all begun to fade, dissolving into a warm, dark, and silent space. This is the moment where the world of thought ends and the world of sleep begins. You are no longer watching the planet. You are simply resting within it, a small, quiet, and safe presence in the vastness of the night. The air in your room has become thick with a heavy, comfortable drowsiness, a velvet blanket of stillness that is settling over you, inch by inch, breath by breath. Everything is slow, everything is soft, everything is perfectly still. Your eyes are so very heavy now. The muscles around them have completely surrendered. They have no more images to hold, no more light to process. They are closed, and they want to stay closed forever. Feel the weight of your eyelids, like two soft petals made of lead, pressing down, shutting out the last of the world. Even if you tried to open them, they would remain still, anchored by the deep and pleasant fatigue of the day. Within that darkness, there is a sense of absolute relief. There is nothing left to see. There is only the dark, and the dark is kind. It is a protective veil that has been drawn across your mind, allowing you to sink deeper into the silence. Your breath is a slow, steady rhythm, the only movement in the room. It flows in, cool and quiet, and it flows out, warm and heavy. With every exhale, your body is sinking deeper into the mattress. Imagine the mattress is made of the finest, softest sand, like the quartz grains we saw earlier, but warmed by the deep heat of the earth. It is molding itself to your shape, supporting your neck, your spine, your hips. You are being cradled by the ground itself. The gravity of the planet is not a force tonight. It is a lullaby. It is pulling you down, away from the surface of things, down into the warm, dark core of rest. You are sinking deeper and deeper into the weighted velvet of sleep. Think of your shoulders now, throughout the day. They carried the weight of your tasks, your worries, and your movements. Now, they are letting go. They are dropping, spreading out, becoming wide and limp. There is no tension left in them, only a heavy, numb sensation of peace. Your arms are resting at your sides or on your chest, and they feel like the branches of an ancient tree that has finally stopped swaying in the wind. They are heavy, so heavy that you have forgotten where they end and the bed begins. Your hands, the fingers that did so much today, are curled and still. They are finished with their work. They are resting in the stillness, sinking into the softness, drifting away. Your chest and your stomach are relaxing now, moving with the effortless flow of your breath. Every inhale brings a wave of calm. Every exhale releases a wave of tension. It is a slow, oceanic motion, like the tides being drawn back and forth by the moon. You are moving in harmony with the planet's own slow pulse. Your heart is beating with a quiet, steady thrum, a miniature geodynamo that is running smoothly and quietly in the dark. There is no hurry. There is no rush. There is only the steady, rhythmic cycle of life, keeping you safe and keeping you whole. You are a part of the stillness. You are a part of the night. The relaxation is moving down through your hips, through your legs, through your knees. Your legs feel like pillars of stone that have been weathered into perfect softness. They are heavy, weighted with the history of every step you have taken. But tonight, they have no more miles to travel. They are anchored to the bed, sinking through the layers of linens, through the floor, through the bedrock. Your feet and your toes are tingling with a warm, drowsy sensation. They are letting go. They are becoming numb, a pleasant, heavy numbness that tells you they are ready for sleep. Your entire lower body is now a part of the deep, quiet earth. The room is growing darker, even behind your closed eyes. The last ember of the story has gone out, and the silence has become absolute. This silence is not empty. It is a warm, solid presence that is holding you close. It is the silence of the deep crust, the silence of the hidden caves, the silence of the trenches beneath the sea. It is a silence that has existed for billions of years, and it is now yours to keep. You are floating in a sea of ink, a dark, warm sea that is supporting you without any effort on your part. You don't need to swim, you don't need to move, you only need to drift. Deeper now, drifting deeper. The world of names and dates, of problems and plans, has vanished. You are just a breath, a heartbeat, a soul at rest. The darkness is a soft cushion for your mind, a place where thoughts can dissolve before they even begin. If a thought appears, it is like a single spark that immediately fades into the velvet blackness. It has no power here. It has no weight. You are moving into the territory of dreams, where the logic of the day does not apply. You are becoming as light as a shadow, yet as heavy as the stone. You are the zircon grain, waiting in the dark. You are the bubble of air, sealed in the ice. You are the memory of the earth, sleeping. The warmth is all around you, a soft, radiant heat that feels like the embrace of someone who loves you perfectly. It is the warmth of the geodynamo, the warmth of the sun stored in the coal, the warmth of your own life. It is keeping you safe. It is keeping you cozy. You are tucked away in the most protected corner of the universe. The magnetic shield is still there, miles above, standing guard in the silent sky. The atmosphere is still there, cradling the world. But you don't need to think about them anymore. They are doing their work so that you can do yours. And your work is to sleep. Your breath is becoming even slower, even shallower. A quiet ripple on a dark lake. The silence is singing to you. A song with no words. A song of eons and eons of peace. You are surrendering to the dark. You are giving yourself over to the night. There is no resistance left in your body, no tension left in your mind. You are fluid. You are fading. You are falling, slowly, into the softest and deepest, most beautiful sleep. The velvet is all around you. The darkness is within you. You are home. You are safe. You are drifting, drifting deeper and deeper into the eternity of the night. Every part of you is now still. The stone is still. The air is still. The heart is still. You are becoming the silence. You are becoming the dark. You are sinking away from the world of form into the world of pure rest. There is nothing left but the slow, steady pulse of your breath. In and out. In and out. Deeper and deeper. The night has you now. The earth has you now. You are resting in the core of the world. Sleep is here. Sleep is now. Sleep is everything. 10. The journey has reached its final silent harbor. You are no longer a traveler. You are the destination. Your body has become as heavy as a mountain's foundation, sinking into the soft earth that has carried you for so long. The stories of the shifting continents and the restless oceans have folded back into the stone, leaving only a profound sense of absolute stillness. You are safe. Every muscle in your frame has surrendered to the velvet dark, melting like ice into a spring river. There is no more distance to cover, no more time to measure. The geodynamo at the heart of the world continues its steady, invisible pulse, and your heart beats in perfect, quiet harmony with it. You are held. You are protected. You are home. 9. The world outside is fading away, dissolving into a soft, monochromatic mist. The rooms you have walked through, the forests you have imagined, and the vast cosmic horizons have all retreated, leaving you in a sanctuary of pure, unblemished shadow. Imagine the darkness as a warm, protective liquid, thick and comforting, filling every space around you. It carries the scent of ancient rain and cooling basalt, a fragrance that tells your mind it is time to let go of the last thread of wakefulness. You are loved by the very laws of the universe, Gravity is not a force tonight. It is a gentle hand pressing you into the deep, dark layers of rest. All is well. All is quiet. Sleep is beginning to settle over you like a dusting of mineral-rich powder from a distant eruption, soft and silent. 8. Your breathing is now so shallow, so effortless, that it feels like the whisper of the wind across a desert dune. You are drifting deeper now, moving past the layers of memory and the sediment of the day. Like a piece of sea glass polished by the surf, your thoughts have been smoothed until they have no edges left to catch on the world. You are a quiet observer of the void, a soul at rest in a silent house. The magnetic shield of the planet stands guard far above, deflecting the noise of the universe, so that you can remain in this perfect dark equilibrium. You are safe here. You have done enough. The planet is turning, the seasons are shifting, and you are allowed to be still. 7. The sensation of your physical form is blurring, merging with the soft linens and the heavy air. You are becoming the silence itself. Think of the deep, hidden aquifers that store water for millennia in the darkness. You are like that water-cool and still and undisturbed by the passage of time above. There is no pressure here, no urgency. You are drifting into the deep time of the soul where minutes and years are the same. The embers of your consciousness are cooling, turning from a vibrant amber to a soft, dark grey. You are sinking through the layers of the Earth's history, down past the coal and the limestone toward the eternal quiet of the core. 6. A profound heaviness has taken hold of your every cell. It is the weight of 1 billion years of stone, a weight that is comforting and solid. You are anchored to the heart of the night. The silence in your mind is now like the silence of a cave where the air has been sealed away for an eternity. No thoughts can enter here. No worries can survive this depth. You are wrapped in a blanket of absolute peace, a cocoon of indigo and black. The world is carrying on without you, and that is a beautiful thing. The rivers are flowing, the stars are tracking, and you are resting. You are safe. You are cared for. Sleep is here. 5. Halfway into the deep dark, the transition is almost complete. You are no longer an island of effort. You have become the ocean. The rhythmic pulse of your breath is the only clock that remains, and it is slowing, until it is nearly imperceptible. Imagine yourself as a single crystal of zircon, small and durable, resting in the dark for 4 billion years. You have survived the storms and the heat, and now you have found your place of absolute rest. The universe is whispering a lullaby of physics and chemistry, a song that tells you that you belong to the stars and the stone. You are part of the grand design. You are enough. 4. The darkness is now a solid, supportive embrace. It is the velvet of the deep ocean trenches, the softest shadow of a mountain valley. You are sinking into the dreamless territory, the place where all forms dissolve. Your eyes are closed so tightly yet so gently, as if they have forgotten how to ever look at the light. The fire in the hearth of your mind has gone out, leaving only a lingering, cozy warmth that radiates from within. You are a passenger on a silent vessel, floating across a sea of ink toward the horizon of total slumber. All is quiet. All is safe. The night is your protector. 3. Only the thinnest veil of awareness remains. You are drifting on the very edge of the void. It is a beautiful, welcoming space, a place of infinite rest. The magnetic field above you and the metal ocean below you are the bookends of your safety. You are the memory of the earth, dreaming of the first rain and the cooling crust. The tension of being a person has vanished. You are now just a heartbeat in the dark, a ripple in the eternal. You are loved by the stone. You are loved by the air. You are loved by the silence. Sleep is now inevitable. It is the only thing that exists. 2. Almost gone. The darkness has filled every corner of your being. You are the shadow in the cave, the bubble in the ice, the grain in the rock. You are becoming the night itself. The heartbeat of the world is your heartbeat. The stillness of the mountain is your stillness. You have surrendered everything to the dark, and in return the dark has given you peace. There is nothing left to hold on to. There is nothing left to do. The journey has ended in the softest, most perfect way imaginable. You are safe. You are home. All is well. You are asleep. You are the deep, dreamless eternity. The archive is closed. The corridor is dark. The fire is ash. There is only the long, beautiful silence of the stone and the stars. The earth is holding you. The night is cradling you. You are part of the deep time now, resting in the cradle of the world. You are safe. You are resting well. Good night and sweet dreams.